Good afternoon, everyone out there in the world of the intranet. My name is Big Brad. We're here at www.geekbattleroyale.com. We're going to do a quick little roundtable discussion. First things first, big shout out to our first ever trivia award winner. This is really cool. This is awesome. BJ, here is your gift. You will be receiving, that's right, the Return of Superman, still sealed. I will be passing this off to your brother, who will give this to you. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
I promise
to your brother, which means our listener base is very small.
I swear, it isn't like I gave him any answers or anything.
Yeah, to your brother, who will probably keep it. Anyway,
He goes, TGRI. What's my gift?
Yeah.
And then
I demand a gift immediately.
I can see it now.
Our props.
30 minutes later, no, seriously, where's that gift?
You're working on it. Gift. Okay.
which is fine. This is actually coming off of the death of Superman, which was a game changer in comic book history. Really, the one guy you never thought would die. I mean, obviously, then Doomsday shows up and kills him. Watch your shit.
Wait,
you know? What? Spoilers for everyone who's not 12. Okay. Straight up, real quick, like I said earlier, Big Brad here. I'm gonna pass it over real quick to our head of security, Mr. Blake. Blake, how's your week been? Everything's okay? Good job. Next off is our captain, our commander, my lord, my liege, Blaine. Blaine, I'm going to assume everything's great. He's building a house. The guy's got it. So I mean, seriously.
With his own bare hands. He's building
with his own bare hand. With it just like Marv with his mitts.
The funny part was I built Jenna a bench the other day, and she goes for her birthday.
Oh yeah, I saw that bench.
Yeah,
it's pretty nice.
It's pretty nice, right? And so she could go, oh, what's this for? And I go, you know what? Some people could say my granddad or my dad built this house with bare hands. Well, we don't do that now. I get a contractor.
Yeah, that's it.
But my daddy built that bench with his bare hands.
One day his son will say, my dad built me with these bare hands. Amongst other things. All right, we're getting too dirty. All right, we've got a lot of young listeners out there. We're gonna just have an open forum tonight. We're gonna talk about some things, whatever. First things first. Most of everything that we're getting ready to talk about is going to contain spoilers. I just want to go ahead and let that out, just in case some people get offended, some people get mad. Because the first thing I'm going to bring up is the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead.
Did we talk about what we're going to talk about, though?
That's nerd moments. Nerd moments of the year.
I don't think you ever mentioned what the whole basis of the discussion was.
I told you. We're freestyling this. This is just going to be a freestyle thing.
My bad.
We're going to just go off each other and stuff like that.
Once again, Blake fucked it up.
This is why I'm the moderator 90% of the time. Okay, so
freestyle. So about the noise.
About the noise, which is just terrible.
The noise.
It's just terrible. Go keep the noise out. You just got to shout.
Yo Domino.
Yo Domino.
Yo Domino. There we go. Mid-season finale. I was very upset with Robert Kirkman. For those of you who do know what happened, and for those of you who don't, there was a major character death. I felt that character, personally, I felt that character deserved a better ending than what they received.
Now he/she got what was coming.
And it was one of those things in which
it was a she.
Spoilers.
He said there was going to be spoilers.
He just say it because you know what? We're a little behind, so we could say it.
Okay, so what? Obviously, the character I'm talking about is Beth. Herschel's youngest daughter. What was crazy about it was, people don't give Beth's character, and maybe I give her character too much credit, but at first, when Beth first, started, when they go to Herschel's farm. And they get there, Beth's the young, she's, late teens.
It's weird because nobody even knew her name until
Yeah,
Half
16,
season.
17, I'm going to say around that area, 17 years old. She's happy that there's other people that are normal and they're on the farm.
Mhm.
Wow, there's other people here and this is going to be great. We're going to help them and they're going to help us exist. It's going to be awesome. They got guns and they got, skills and it's more people, so it helps. And then that's, as the season progresses, you have, where asshole Shane, decides that he's going to go off the deep end. He's going to open up the barn that's full of walkers that Herschel's been putting in there. Herschel and his family, by the way, in there, and and they end up, killing all the walkers. Where you had this tremendous OMG moment where Sophia comes out,
Right.
and then Rick has to put her down, and it was very tragic. It was terrible because they spent all that time looking for Sophia,
Right.
and then in the process, Herschel's wife is in the barn as a walker, and they have to put her down too. And Beth it kind of just really tormented Beth, and to which Beth became suicidal, tried to cut her wrist, with the broken mirror and all that kind of stuff. And then you see Beth, when we get to the big campfire scene, Beth's in there and she's like, everything's good, God's gonna be there, and then she shows these glimmers of hope,
Right.
and then in the prison she really starts to come out. The character really starts to develop.
Didn't they harken back to that monologue she had in that one of those episodes with her and Daryl in this season?
Right, and that's in 4. Right,
Right.
No, season 5.
So they went back to that monologue that she said everything's gonna be great,
Right,
but it wasn't.
but it
And
wasn't.
This is when she's like depressed again.
Exactly, and it was
Okay.
one of those things in which she's like, "Hey, we're here. We got this prison. We got all this. Everything's fine." And then she witnesses her father get killed, by the governor. Spoiler. And then who's the governor? It's back. It's back to despair, where it's her and Daryl, and it's one of the better episodes of the entire series, in which hey, it's I just want to get drunk. That's her thing. I just want to get drunk. And that's when Daryl kind of sits her down and tells her, you don't fucking understand. Shit's the way it is, and it's going to be this way, and we have to make the best of it. That's it. That's it.
Right.
And then she gets split up. Then the whole thing is, where's Beth? So they find Beth, and Beth's ending to me was, I was disappointed in Robert Kirkman's way of doing it, to where I just felt that it should have been better. It should have been better. The whole time I did that, he put fucking Rubik's Cube together like a dumbass and showed us all up. So we got rid of that. That's got to go. But Master Chief. Yeah. Who would win, a stormtrooper or Master Chief?
Master Chief. Pretty easy. But I'm sure Brandon was here. Brandon would say, Stormtrooper all the way.
By the way, which is our other
And
co-host who's not here at the
make it
moment.
happen.
Yeah, he'd make it happen.
He'd make a good reason for it.
He is actually, Brandon, right now, is actually out on what is it, detail, or so to speak, on location. Brandon's out there scouting the Montreal Convention Center right now for us, because in a little over a month, we have Wizard World Con at New Orleans at the Montreal Convention Center, and we're going to be there. We're going to have a booth. You guys come out. It's going to be great. So
And the whole thing's closed, so he's really doing a little B&E right now.
yeah, but
Yeah.
He said his code name was Dinah.
he's
Or
taking one of the
Viper.
team.
Tell you what, though, he's like
He's
a
our
fucking
guy,
cat.
though. He's our guy. And
Moves
if anyone
aside.
gets caught doing that and can talk their way out of it, trust me, it's Brandon.
He's like
So,
a cat.
real quick,
Yes.
everyone knew, and it was funny because I posted this on a Facebook page for the fans, the Walking Dead fans, Talking Dead, which is awesome. You ought to look it up on Facebook.
Not the show after Walking Dead.
Yeah, not the show after
Our
Walking
personal
Dead.
Facebook.
Yeah, it's a personal Facebook group that we have. Everyone leading up to this mid-season break knew and wanted to know that Carol would die. That was the issue. I kind of figured they were going to swerve us and not have Carol die. To kill Carol and Beth at the same time would open the floodgates of emotion for the Daryl Dixon character, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, February comes, you get the second half of the season. where do they go now? Since all this has happened in Atlanta with Beth, where do they go now?
Opening episode, Carol died.
Wow,
Boom.
that's just
No.
boom.
I think Carol's lasted 4 seasons longer than I thought she would.
But that makes her more interesting too. Though.
I mean, she is. She's kind of like that underdog that comes in. I mean, she's the character you figure is going to be the weak
I didn't
link, and
expect
she
her to
comes.
be
She
there.
comes a little. She's a stronger character recently.
Yeah.
But then now she's overbearing. So, honestly, what I think is, what's his name's going to come back up, mullet guy, and he's going to be like, I was just lying to get you back to help these people.
Eugene.
And we're going by Eugene.
My Tennessee top hat.
And we're going to go right back to Washington, D.C. And Red Shane's going to be all right about it.
Yeah, Red Shane, you know. I
Go
love
on.
Abraham.
But as far as the death, you said it was the Beth-death.
The Beth-death.
The death. Mega Beth.
Mega
Was the
Oh,
you
Mega
found
Beth.
the death was kind of I guess they did it very shockingly. Like
It was unjust to me.
it just happened, you know?
It was unjust. I think that it should have went down. I think she should have been given not just something so instantaneous,
Yeah.
Right.
just such boom, you know. No. You know, I think that it should have been something more
She went kind of
heroic.
towards the end. See, you know what I thought was the best part about the whole death? It's like when she stabbed her with the scissors, and the cop went.
It was instant.
It was instant. But the first part was such gut reaction for the cop that she didn't know what she was doing. She just like, I got stabbed, shoot, right?
You know, and that was a big thing
And
too.
here's the best part. So all of a sudden, Rick and Daryl and all of them look at her, and the cop goes,
Bam!
yeah,
It was like,
she just had that deer caught in the headlight. Oh shit!
And what was
Dude,
crazy?
cop.
What was so crazy about that moment? What was so crazy about that moment was not just Rick's reaction. Daryl's reaction was instantly. She has to die. There's no explanation. There's no pleading. There's no nothing. She must die immediately.
And she was starting to. She was starting to plead. She looked at she said she just did it. She goes, oh shit.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't, you know, it was just I'm a cop.
Yeah.
I was attacked. It was just it's a reflex.
It was a knee-jerk reaction.
It was. I mean, and it was, and that's what I didn't like about it. You know what I'm saying? I thought that it should have been a little bit more heroic instead of let's see how it is now. You're not gonna out. I mean, that was it. It was that quick. It was that quick. Just bam, boom, done. It was over. But Rick had that look on his face, though,
He had a look of shock.
of everybody's gonna die now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my gun, come back, and we're gonna kill everybody down at the end of this hallway. You know, that's kind of what it was, and that's what I'm sitting there thinking. Okay, yeah, they're all gonna die.
They started too much. I think you're talking about where they're going next. Honestly, they're not done with the hospital.
Yeah, they are.
There's going to be. You think they're going to leave the hospital never again? Leave those cops alone? That doctor that they put this background story to. There's not
No,
going to be
the
no.
reason I say that is because Rick made the offer. When they said it was done, it was done.
Right.
And Rick said, whoever wants to come with us, you come with us now.
I don't think there's going to be revenge.
And only one person, no, there's not. Yeah, I don't believe
Yeah.
it. And only one person took him up, and that was Noah. Noah walked out of the hospital room. That was it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, another really crazy thing that just, maybe I'm the only one. Maybe I'm not. Why is it all of a sudden 10 minutes left in the mid-season finale? All of a sudden, Maggie's worried about her sister.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Oh, yeah.
just Michonne goes the bus. I mean the
And she cries that time. She
Yeah,
didn't cry
yeah.
when she thought she was dead before. Why?
That's the thing.
Why
The
does that
bus,
matter?
not the bus. Listen to me. Abraham shows up to the church with the fire truck.
Red Shane.
Red Shane. Abraham, Red Shane shows up with the fire truck. Maggie gets out. Michonne's right there. Michonne's like, hey. Because Glenn wants to know where's everybody at. Where's the rest of everybody? They found Beth. She's alive. And all of a sudden, Maggie's like, she is. That's great because we were looking for her. It's like, no, you weren't. You know, it's like Beth's laying in a hospital bed going, I hope. I like to think that Maggie's out there looking for me. And then, of course, there's Maggie Glenn. See how I'm watching, you know, leaving. Not could care less. You know, Maggie didn't ask one damn question about Beth ever since the prison shit happened.
Yeah.
You know,
It was
now
probably just a oversight, and they realized they had to do something. You know,
because and there it was, and then all of a sudden when you know you see Daryl coming out, you know, all freaking John McClane looking, and you know whatever, and he's holding Beth, and then you see this big emotional breakdown. You know, and it was almost like one of those Terminator endings. You know, in slow motion and don't, and everybody's crying. It's just emotional. It's terrible. Too many plot holes.
Yeah.
And not to mention that, I don't know if you guys knew, but from the end, when Herschel dies, the governor is killed, to that moment, I think it's only like a 14-day period. And that's it.
yeah.
All of those episodes where Ricky, Michonne, and Carl was in the house in the subdivision, and Carl eating 120 gallons of freaking pudding, and you know, Daryl's with these guys, these biker guys or whatever that's going around, and there's that whole terrible showdown where Rick goes really ape shit, bites the guy's neck off, and he, you know, murders the guy who's trying to rape Carl.
Well, I think that's the whole point.
2-week period.
The reason why they did that is because they're trying to show the intensity of how important it is to have respite. When they were in the prison and they were happy and they were fighting to keep the chain link up.
Yeah, the walkers.
Yeah, but you know they're mainly about agriculture and things like that, and you don't know what kind of time span went, like years.
Actually,
6 months.
Actually,
it just shows how like a month or 6 months is such a big deal because outside those
we talked about that
14
today.
days.
We actually talked about that today with some of the fans of our site down in Port Arthur. The time frame, from what we understand, from the beginning to now has been like 580 days. The longest span in the Walking Dead universe on the television show. Not common, not canon. But right in the middle, when Rick says this is no longer a democracy. This is a dictatorship. You know, you're gonna answer to me.
Trademark.
Yeah. From that time to the time they go into the prison is like 200 days. So there's a gap. Yeah. That's the biggest gap in the Walking Dead universe. And I correct me if I'm wrong, people, please. But yeah, we believe that we figured it out. Yeah, it was like
they weren't on the
200
farm.
days.
I don't think.
You know, Herschel's farm. Yeah, I don't think it was that long.
Well, if you think whenever they did the little season break after the farm got overrun, and whenever they finally come back, you're showing them scavenging, still walking. So there could have been a long string of time where they were just wandering, trying to find another place.
Right. Okay.
Even though, like at the end of that season, they had a campfire and the prison was right behind them.
They didn't know it because that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
from that moment until they go into the prison,
it's a long
200 days.
Yeah, so they could have just been wandering all over the place.
You know,
obviously, they
doing whatever they had to do.
Right.
You know.
Okay, we'll talk about this. Just off that subject a little bit, but still on Walking Dead. I don't know. I know you've seen it, but the best meme picture I've ever seen. I don't know. There's a couple that show up on that Walking Dead thing. But the one I like looks like it's off a family, like an old 50s picture of family around a Thanksgiving table. They have this plate. It's this huge ass, just an ass.
Oh, it's the Kim Kardashian.
And then the top it says, "If Kim Kardashian made it to
Terminus."
It's just a huge ass.
And instead of a turkey on this platter, it's her ass. Kim Kardashian had it. That was good.
That one and the other one that said,
tainted me.
Yeah, tainted.
And they're throwing up. Oh, you know.
I like the best part about that was his leg got a cameo in the next episode, a couple episodes later.
Just like Herschel's head.
When the preacher was at the thing.
Yeah, just like Herschel's head. Also. Yeah, I thought that was unnecessary.
Well, the funny part was another one that I thought was funny is, you know how like Rick when he cries, this is the ugliest cry I've ever seen.
I don't know, Daryl's is pretty bad.
I don't know, it's pretty
that
bad.
Face is like he just ate a whole bag full of lemon heads at one time.
You know, when Rick goes, "No, no.
Oh man, with Carl.
Yeah, and he goes, and he looks at, his son's crying and stuff, and he looks at me like Blake's Carl. Blake's Carl. Carl's upset, crying. He's big things.
No, Carl
He goes, no.
Carl is
No,
so
Carl.
stone-faced.
No, Carl.
That's
He's
the
like
best
looking.
part.
Are you trying to make him cry?
He's stone-faced. Carl is. He's wearing his dad's hat, and he's just like, and it's like,
He gets in his face, cries a little bit. Why are you
it was bad. Although I still believe it to this day, he had the best reaction of the whole series when the governor actually takes Michonne's katana and cuts the side of Herschel's neck. Rick had the greatest reaction because it was instantly, no, Python, shoot, boom. It was just instant, no, doom. It was the greatest reaction ever. I mean,
And you know talking about another one of those memes on that thing. It had that look on his face where he looks at Carl, and of course it's spelled Coral.
Yeah.
Coral.
That's the way he says it. Carl, if we were a book, and he looks at like, would Norman read us?
Yes. Norman Reedus, Carl.
Would Norman read us?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, it's such a huge thing now. The Walking Dead, you know, the whole. And what's crazy about it is not once is the word zombie used.
No. Walker or Rotter.
Rotter, Walker, Geek, Undead. You know, they use all these names. They never say the word zombie. Never see.
Why not? Because you think that'd be an instant reaction in any normal world.
Yeah,
you would
but
say
zombies out there. Yeah,
in the pop culture we live in, everybody knows what a damn zombie is.
Right. So, all right, we're gonna get off of that subject real quick, and
let's talk about trailers.
Here's the next one we're gonna talk about. All right, we got obviously we're gonna talk about the new Star Wars.
Yes.
New Star. J.J. Abrams come out with new Star Wars trailer. A lot of people were like, nah. A lot of people were like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world.
People expected more out of it. It's a teaser trailer.
I like
You're not supposed to get
the people that would. Yeah, I like to call those people Nazis.
God.
I like to call them the Empire.
Yeah. Whoa,
the rebellion, right?
Exactly.
No, you know what the best part we talked about? I know everybody that is any kind of somewhat worth the salt of nerd or geek or anything thought the same thing when that stormtrooper popped up and everybody went, "We ain't found shit."
Yeah, immediately. That's what they thought.
Yeah.
We ain't found shit. You know.
What y'all think about that R2-D2 with the ball?
I thought that was kind of cool.
It's kind of because I guess it shows the next evolution.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of silly, but I mean, I think it's more for the kids. But I thought it's cool to show this is the next evolution of an R2 unit. It's probably R20.
And let's just get this.
Would I rather see the normal?
And hopefully I don't have to flip this fucking table over.
The lightsaber.
The lightsaber is fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. Everybody else is like, it's stupid. It makes sense because how many times you sit there and someone's hacking right there? All you do is drag your hand out.
If
chop off his hand.
Luke had that, he'd still have his fucking hand.
Now,
But
hold up.
Don't make me flip this fucking table.
Hold up.
I'm ready.
I'm with you.
When the sword was cut, when the hand was cut, Vader came from under. Vader came.
Okay.
So the hands come off.
Table's fine.
So
we're all good here.
And it is basically a claymore.
What about
It's a
Vader?
claymore lightsaber.
Right.
That's what it is.
Because everybody notices the hilt thing, right?
Mhm.
Everybody notices that. But nobody noticed the length.
Yeah,
The length of that sucker.
yeah, that's why I'm saying
It's like
it's claymore.
from here, yeah.
Broadsword.
And it's obviously homemade.
Do y'all feel like because
There's a to it.
you can tell it's unstable?
All
So you can tell it's probably a
sabers are
Sith.
homemade. All sabers are homemade.
Well, yeah, it's true.
They gotta
But they're
make their
all
own
homemade,
sabers.
but they're made with better crystals, maybe.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're also made by, who they're made by.
Right.
Jedi's and Sith Lords.
Well, I know it's kind of like a Jedi.
No, there
rite
is
of passage
here's
to
the
make
thing.
your own
Something wobbly
lightsaber,
about
but
We already know
there's probably someone that didn't teach him because he's probably from the Outer Rim or something like that.
that's
because
the
Sith
cool
were out.
part, because once again we talked to a couple of fans of the site that asked us those questions, seeing that. One guy brought up a obvious good question. Some people are going to call it dumb, whatever. I thought it was a decent question. Is that Star Killer? That's what was brought up.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think-
because they wouldn't have Star Killer's lightsaber like that.
You gotta understand.
I think it's
My brother brought up
Cumberbatch's
a
character.
good point earlier. When Disney bought out Star Wars, everything that's not included in the first 6 films is no longer canon. So the video games and all
The
that kind of
books.
stuff, the books, all that stuff, that's just no. They just go follow those 6 movies. For that to be Star Killer, you would have to take half that freaking movie to explain Star Killer's
And
origin.
out of every single video game that's ever been made, and I think the books too, George Lucas is the correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I want to say George Lucas, the only one that he accepted as canon was Force Unleashed.
Yeah, well, Star Killer. Oh yeah.
See, that's the only one he said was canon. Now, does that migrate to Disney?
I don't. That's what
It's
I
funny,
don't
Mark.
think
I
so.
really don't think
That would be awesome. I
Another
think
cool
it's an
thing.
excellent character.
What is the biggest rule of the Sith?
2.
Rule of 2.
One,
You have to have a master and
one to
apprentice.
crave it.
An apprentice, right?
One to master the Force, and one to crave
One to
it.
crave it.
They're gone. So who is this guy?
It's Benedict Cumberbatch,
You know what I'm saying?
whatever character is supposed to be.
That's what I
He's
mean.
everybody.
You wouldn't. Yeah, no, he's Khan. It's Khan with a lightsaber.
yeah, it's Khan.
Start since J.J. Abrams did both.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
They're
ahead and say
merging the universes.
Cumberbatch is the anti-Tom Hardy
Yeah.
because he's in too much. Tom Hardy can't be in too much, but Cumberbatch is in too much.
Tom Hardy in too much would blow up Hollywood.
They have to restrain the Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Small
much,
doses.
too much of the Bronson, too much of the, So,
I'm sorry.
this gives you power over me. I love it.
What do y'all feel about? Obviously, the girl that got on the speeder bike. She looks like
on the big fudge sickle.
I would say I'd call it the speeder tractor.
Yeah, the big fudge sickle.
I got in here, my hand.
She seems like a smuggler.
Got a 4-cylinder down here in it.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say she's a smuggler character, and the stormtroopers on the same planet, Tatooine, obviously.
Yeah, it looks like
So obviously they're gonna meet together. And you know what's neat about the stormtrooper character that we never really talked about is the fact that he's not a clone.
No.
And the thing is, they're not a clone is that because everybody's like automatically assuming now that George Lucas retconned everything they're clones, but I think the clones only lasted so long, and then as the Empire grew, had to enlist.
You gotta think after they blew up 2 Death Stars, they had to start running low on clones. They probably started recruiting because it is the Galactic Empire.
Those poor people.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had to start recruiting.
And the thing I know they're going to dive into is the fact that why would someone join the Empire? At first, maybe.
This guy would,
But
like right off the bat.
But hear me out.
A cool shiny suit and a gun.
During the original trilogy, to join the Empire,
The assholes are dead. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good empire.
You join the Empire in the original trilogy makes sense because it's like joining the army.
Yeah.
Because the Empire is basically the government.
Right.
The rebellion, people think it's another faction. The rebellion is a rebellion. It's V for Vendetta. So, same thing with now is like, why would someone join the Empire now when the New Republic is in phase? At this point, the Empire's in shambles.
Yeah.
And off planets, probably trying to maintain what little bit of planets they can get, probably the out sector.
They might have some good benefits.
They probably have zero to nil benefits
I mean,
now.
Yeah, their 401k is shot.
I mean, they're probably just sitting there. There's probably old stormtroopers saying, where were you when it happened?
Yeah, exactly.
The Death Star blowing up.
It's got to be
Never forget.
Never forget. Got
So,
tattoos on their shells out there.
I mean, it's not a rebellion anymore. It's a holding on.
But do we know that?
That guy looks young. He doesn't look old. So
Right,
you
he
can tell
looks
he's
young.
a new.
He's
This is like 20 years after.
What I'm talking about is do we know that the Galactic Empire has really been dismantled? Because on Endor, they stopped the shit on Endor. It's a big fucking galaxy they're in.
I want to say George Lucas books, but also in the expanded universe.
That doesn't matter now.
Listen, I know they got rid of the expanded universe, but I think also George Lucas, they took it. George Lucas's concept, and they did it. And they're still rolling with that concept because you notice it's going to be about the Jedi Academy. It's going to be about Luke building the Jedi Academy up again, and it's also so he's going to get a whole bunch of Jedis now, and it's also about Han Solo and Leia being together. And you notice they have 3 kids: Ben, Jason, and Jaina, just like the expanded universe. But this is also off of Lucas's concept,
right?
So then that version, the Empire's a faction. It's small.
Yeah.
You know, he's talking about Thrawn trilogy.
All right, I'll bring up another thing. What about the Millennium Falcon? I mean, it was right there.
Goose Pebbles.
It was awesome.
You know,
And every time I see it, I can't help but think of Robot Chicken. What the hell is an aluminum falcon?
Yeah.
I
For
thought
me,
that was
like,
great.
insurance
policy we
we
have
have
with
with
this. I
Get your
guess it's just
7-foot
because-
asthmatic ass in here.
I guess it's because I'm so twisted when it comes to Star Wars that to me it's like the dark side is the true story.
Right.
To me. And I was more excited about seeing a red lightsaber. Like I was so excited. The only
Yeah.
lightsaber you saw was red, and that made me happy. And when I talked to Moonbase, shout out, talked to him, he told me like when he saw the Falcon go and the score story and all, that's what did it for him.
Right.
But to me, it was like, like it was cool. Don't get me wrong, very cool to see it. But that's not who I'm rooting for.
That's the thing. Who's driving?
Well, it's Han Solo.
Who's piloting the aluminum falcon? I mean,
aluminum
that'd be
falcon.
obvious. That's-
I'd say that Han Solo's piloting. Who else would pilot?
His kids.
Yeah, but you know,
Jason and Janet hijacked
You
it
know,
one day for
okay.
a little.
you got a
Well,
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
You got a Ferrari. You letting your kids drive it?
Why not?
It's the fastest hunk of junk in the galaxy, man. You
Exactly.
did a Kessel run in 3.2 parsecs.
So
12 parsecs?
I don't know.
You know, what was the part that did it for
We
you?
just had a massive brain fart on the parsec thing. Next trivia question for everybody.
How many parsecs?
How many parsecs?
Another one of these babies in for you.
Millennium? No, we're going to
We're
go
out
with
of
another
these.
one.
We'll give away Blaine's Star
Whoa,
Wars.
whoa.
What?
This thing is.
Or
You
that
know one is broken.
Or the broken Rubik's Cube.
Yeah,
That's
broken
the
Rubik's
Russell.
All these are broken.
The Rubik's Cubes.
The what was the part that did it for you?
I mean, obviously, the fact that there is a 7, which is really cool.
Yeah. What part of the trailer that really hit home?
I really want to say it was the Millennium Falcon. You know, seeing it, doing all the cool nose dive, doing all the 360s and all that kind of stuff. It was cool. You know, as the oldest of the bunch, it was cool to see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just to hear that, you know, da 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 da, it was just awesome. It was.
I thought, yeah.
What did y'all think about the
Now the flying popsicle deal, the fudge sickle,
the Mahindra? we're calling it.
yeah, the Mahindra, you know, yeah, that's whatever.
I'm going bush hog. Small brats.
Yeah, that's it. It's people get excited because you know you threw that little bit of nostalgia in it, you know, with that. Obviously, everybody saw the Claymore lightsaber. Oh, that was great. You know,
That was awesome.
That's awesome for everybody too. And there's been hundreds of memes made.
I love the one that looked like the Swiss Army.
Swiss Army knife.
That was awesome.
No, the one off of
Did y'all see the George Lucas version of the trailer?
What?
Y'all didn't see that? Okay, we'll have to watch it when we're done. But you know how Lucas went back and with the original ones and added all his stuff?
right.
Well, somebody did that with the trailer. So like whenever the dude pops up in the desert, there's like fucking shit all around him,
Oh,
you know,
God.
and like when the Falcon's flying in, there's like hundreds of fucking TIE fighters everywhere.
Oh wow.
And when the lightsaber comes out, it goes, and then 2 come out, and then 2 more come out the back, and another comes out the side.
Well, see, and that's another thing too. I thought it was an awesome looking, cool lightsaber, but
Easy.
Nothing beats Darth Maul's.
wait, no, it's not just that.
The double?
It's just what kind of lightsaber are we going to see in the 8th one? What kind of lightsaber are we going to see in the 9th one? You know, because just like that, you know, at first it was just
If you could design a lightsaber, how would you design your lightsaber? Now we got something.
if I could design a lightsaber, I would do one that shoots.
I already know how mine would look.
It would have to shoot.
Mine's simplistic but awesome.
It would look
Okay.
kind of steampunkish. It would look kind of steampunkish.
All right.
I'd have to have a cord from the, you know,
That would be kind of cool.
you know, because I'm hey,
Little exhaust popping out the
that's
back.
it, dude. Got some O2 coming out. You know what I'm saying? I just think it'd be awesome.
Every once in a while it backfire.
No, dude, you gotta have a choke on it. It's gotta have a choke.
You got to
Put the
prime
choke.
it. You got to prime
Yeah.
the pistol.
You gotta have the oil gas mixture in it, you know.
It doesn't start. Somebody comes at you and be like, "Did you prime it?"
Yeah.
You know,
Did you put
take
it
the choke
on
off, and then it's, you know.
I'm down.
I think it'd be
I
cool.
don't
So
know
what
if
about
Brad's
you?
better than mine. Mine was simple. Mine I thought it'd be cool. Just if I had to be a Jedi or Sith or whatever it was, I'd want 2 lightsabers. I'd be a dual man, but I want them to connect and be a double.
So Darth Maul.
Darth Maul, but splits in half.
Yeah, Darth Maul was just one.
I know, but still.
Could you
But
imagine?
you can do this.
Could you imagine lightsaber nunchucks?
This is what I would want, and I would say it just because I've always hoped that there would be a Star Wars. I was always hoping a Star Wars film somebody would do it. There's
Terrible
two
idea.
things I'd like to see. One, if somebody's got a normal lightsaber, I always wanted to see somebody who was so good with their saber skills that they would turn it off until they actually needed to make contact with something. So the whole time it was like just going up and down.
Right.
Because then you wouldn't know where he was. What he'd be badass. How do you stop that? Because you don't see the big glowing fucking thing coming at you.
Right.
So like when somebody's swinging theirs, it stopped immediately, and then he'd take it away. That's something I always want to see. But if I had to design my own, I'd try to make little small ones, and they'd be like brass fucking knuckle
Oh,
lightsabers.
that'd be awesome, man.
I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, but
They did that.
how worthless would that be?
If you're a badass fucking Sith Lord, it wouldn't matter. Somebody like Darth Bane, who's got orbalisk armor and lightsabers don't even affect him. He just had fucking lightsaber brass knuckles. He could take the fucking saber thing.
Because you got to get in close, you know, with brass knuckles.
But
That's
I
where
mean, we're talking fucking 30 style boxing
but,
here.
but
You know,
lightsabers don't affect the orbalisk armor.
vaudevillians. Come here, there, bully.
How cool is that?
there was one spot missing. That's how they got it.
But that, we don't talk about that. If you had fucking boxing gloves with lightsabers, that'd be awesome. But you'd have to
How
be
does it
Darth.
I still like Grievous with his 4.
I agree, but you.
I thought that was the best, some of the best wielding that you could do. I mean, come on, he had 4
and just also
that he took off a Jedi that he killed, which is just awesome.
The best
That's
thing
just
that
awesome.
the best thing that George Lucas did with the prequels is also the worst thing. It's because he did the best villain characters that probably have ever hit the map, and then he kills them off immediately. Darth Maul, fucking awesome. Cut in half in the first
Darth
episode.
Maul was bad.
He should.
Yeah, but look who did it though.
Yeah, but he still should have lasted longer.
Look who did it.
Obi-Wan.
All
I
right.
think if anybody should kill him, it would be Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I think for me,
That's it.
even better than Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan is the best. But
I did.
that's just me. Darth Maul should have lasted longer. And
They tried to bring him back in the cartoon, but it was
too little, too late.
yeah. I agree.
Grievous was a freaking awesome
Oh,
character,
he
and
was
it was two.
Who
guys.
killed him? Who killed him?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
And that should have lasted longer. He should have been in more than one movie.
2-0.
Who else? Jango Fett.
Jango Fett. Now,
That went down like.
I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying this. A lot of flack. So I'll get in a little closer. I think Boba Fett is over fucking rated. All right.
Shut your
Now I'm
mouth
going to
out.
sit down.
Who are you?
Now I'm going to sit down.
All he is
I
a
don't
bounty
even know
hunter.
you.
I'm gonna
He's
sit
he's
down.
a bounty hunter versus fucking superhuman fucking being.
Okay, you know what? Even Jango Fett. We'll say this. Even Jango Fett, who held his own against Obi-Wan, the one who killed Grievous, the one who killed Darth Maul, with just a jetpack and pistols.
I didn't
No
talk no
Jedi
shit.
powers.
I didn't talk no
Jango's
held
a
his
bad-
own.
I didn't talk no shit on Django. No.
Jango's a bad man.
Boba Fett is over fucking rated, in my opinion. Although I did see one cool thing about him. A lot of people don't realize. When Luke goes into when they're carrying Han Solo in, right? And you know he's in the encased in the stuff. Well, they're carrying him in, and it shows Boba Fett's leading them. He's in front, and Luke goes there. You know what I'm saying? To rescue. It shows Luke
Oh yeah.
when he gets up against when he goes up against the wall, when he's leaned up against the wall. You know he's up against the wall, and then behind him you see Boba Fett start walking by. Luke unclips his lightsaber. Okay, he unclips it.
Yeah.
For a split second, for a split second, you see Boba Fett, who's walking straight, turn his head and look, and then go by. He knew right then and there that Luke Skywalker was around the corner waiting to ambush.
Mhm.
He knew it because his senses were so good. He heard Luke unclip that lightsaber. He heard it. And it shows it plain as day. He walked by, you see clip, and he just looks and he turns, and then that's it. And then obviously they walk by, Luke goes around the corner, and then boom, there he is. Boba Fett there to start the fight. But look how he
But
dies.
the thing is, okay.
It's just so shit.
Boba Fett-
Another thing of why George Lucas he ruined.
I think Boba Fett.
too,
I think Boba Fett's
He had potential.
popularity. I think his popularity
He looks
came.
awesome.
I think his popularity came from him being a mystery.
And that's right.
Because you
And that's
really
right.
don't see him do much.
And that's right.
In those three, out of the three movies, you really don't see him do anything.
Yeah.
So it
Boba
was
Fett
more of a-
should have lasted all the way till right before the end of the Return of the Jedi, where you have the big battle with the three.
Mm-hmm.
With Darth and Palpatine and Luke. He should have been right there.
Should have been
And
him
Han
versus Han
Solo should have been
That
pistol
would've been
versus
awesome.
pistol.
No,
That's how it should have ended.
Flying off the helipad thing, like the helipad.
We're
indoor.
talking pistol versus
You know?
pistol. That's how it should
But
have
I
been.
just think that the only reason Boba Fett is popular is because nobody knew nothing about
I
it. So
agree.
it became like the Wolverine syndrome. You
Right.
loved Wolverine because you didn't know shit about it. And the possibilities were
I've
limitless.
also got a cool
I
thing.
agree.
Since
I
you
agree.
brought up the Wolverine syndrome, to get off a topic on that real quick, I read a rumor online that there is an actor in talks to play Dokken to be the new Wolverine. And no, it is not Tom Hardy.
It's Nicolas Cage.
No, no, Norman Reedus.
Wow, that would be cool.
Norman Reedus
I can
to
see
be
it.
Dokken to be the new Wolverine.
That would be.
I read that on a fan site and I thought that was awesome.
I could see that
I thought that was
because
awesome.
Dokken's kind of spindly, and I'm cool with that. That would be very good.
Imagine that shit.
That would
I
be
think
cool.
it'd be great. And with the popularity of Norman Reedus right now, and the way that's going, and obviously with the death of Wolverine, I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be doing the fans a service. I really do.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
The the one thing in the trailer that we didn't talk about yet on that was the X-wings. You know,
Yeah, you
that
see
was
them
cool.
come shooting in. Yeah, that was awesome.
that was the part that got me because
Yeah.
when you look at the X-wings, what's cool is they went back like the prequels had this different look, and everybody liked this. It was almost Aliens. You remember Alien, where it had that very dark, gritty. The ships were very,
Used.
abused. They were marked, and you can tell you see these X-wings swoop down, you can tell they're modified, newer, advanced versions. But you get close to them, you see all the bang marks, the ting marks, and
It looked like the old B-52 bombers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you
stuff
look
like
at the
that.
guys they're wearing like the old school rebellion clothes, but the helmet was a little different. You notice it looked more Empire-like. So
Mhm.
because now the New Republic is the new Empire,
Yeah.
so that the uniforms are getting more militaristic looking,
Yeah.
By the
but
way,
still have that.
in
That's
the George Lucas cut of the trailer, when they show
Do they have Porkins?
the
Please tell me they have Porkins.
No, the X-Men pilot, when they show him like head on, they do a little like when Han dodged the bullet from Guido, like the pilot just goes like that, and a bolt goes right there, like, but you can tell it's just so modified,
Just a little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
So that was on.
I like actually with when we were talking about the ending, when we talk about Boba Fett and stuff, I felt that
What type
you know,
of creature ate Boba Fett?
Sarlacc.
Okay, you can stay.
He didn't eat. He came back out.
he came back out.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
You
Maybe
should-
I
Yeah,
got-
human
maybe I got
eyeballs.
it. Maybe I got it.
I kind of wonder why George Lucas in the original 3 didn't use Chewbacca a little bit more sometimes, because obviously you had to go. They kind of explained it a little bit more.
Are they gonna do Chewbacca death?
Now that
That's supposed to be in the
because
script.
Chewbacca's pretty old. You know, when he does die.
Well, he's supposed to die in the
Yeah,
before everybody else.
I think in 8 he's supposed to die. I don't think it's going to be 7. I think it's going to be 8, but and which would be fine.
Makes sense.
Which would be fine. Yoda's already dead. You know, Obi-Wan's already gone.
And your died from cancer.
You know,
Yeah.
and friggin', you know,
What that soup you made over.
you know, yeah. And then you got
And I still say, even though I know the shitstorm's coming when I say it.
oh, here we go. Fuck, I know what he's gonna bring up.
What?
He's gonna bring up.
No. Okay. I say, yeah, Obi-Wan just disappeared when him.
Oh, that wow.
He just disappeared. Okay.
Well, he says it.
I know.
You strike me down, and I will become more powerful.
There's the argument made that Vader didn't even strike him down. I say Vader did strike him down. I think Obi-Wan realized that he was outmatched at that point and just decided to help become one with the Force right as he swung the fucking saber.
I don't think there was. I honestly, dead serious, dude. I do not believe that there was ever a time in which Obi-Wan Kenobi sat back and said, I believe this fucker has outdone me.
You saw it right then.
I just don't think he did.
He knew that it was a hopeless situation. Luke and them would have never left.
Obi-Wan Kenobi knew at that point in time. This is the next step for me. It has to happen now. Luke has to see it.
Well, you notice when
because I still have to make this kid a believer in the Force.
Well, you notice what happened though.
They give him a deadly lightsaber. First thing he fucking does is looks at it. I mean, come on. You gotta. I still gotta
think about what he did though, Blake. When they're fighting and they're running towards the aluminum Falcon, what happens? Luke stops, looks at him. Obi-Wan stops fighting. He looks at him, makes sure he's watching, smiles, then does it.
Because he told
why would he stop then?
I think
because
he stopped.
he told
I think he stopped because
he would have been in the middle of the fight. Go, oh fuck.
I think he stopped because he knew.
You strike me down.
He knew
I'm gonna become more powerful.
and that's all cool. That's I think that's a true.
He became eternity.
Pretty much
He became
I
eternity.
think that's a true statement. But I think when he looks at Luke and realizes he knows if he keeps fighting with Vader, ain't nobody getting off of this bitch.
I just don't know.
Yeah. Because y'all are fucking drinking a Kool-Aid. That's cool.
No, it's not. I don't understand.
I know.
Vader's a badass. Don't get me wrong. I think Vader is the #2 greatest supervillain ever.
Don't even ask what's #1.
Don't even ask me what #1 is because I'm sorry, it is the Joker. But anyway,
because he does it for
the laws, baby.
So does Vader.
Yeah.
Vader's a funny guy.
Vader's just crazy.
He's all
no.
He's got a very dry British humor, but if you knew it, you'd think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
That Vader right there was powerful, yeah. But was he Obi-Wan powerful? No. Because first thing, what gives a Jedi his power?
The Force.
Midi-chlorians. That's the main thing that
the Triforce.
I think
not the Triforce. No,
I think
times the Force.
When he was hacked to pieces by Obi-Wan Kenobi, he lost the majority of them.
That's a good point. I never looked at it that way.
He did. He lost the majority of them because he became a fucking android after that.
Yeah, I'll say
you get your
this.
7-foot asthmatic ass in here.
No, I agree. I agree. But I would say that Anakin was a far superior Jedi, quote unquote, than Obi-Wan.
No.
The only reason he got hacked to bits is because rage got involved.
Well, obviously, yeah. That, yeah.
I don't think he was a better Jedi. I think Anakin was a better.
He was a better swordsman. I think he was a better.
Anakin,
that's not a better Jedi.
Possibly.
He was a horrible Jedi.
Maybe I'm choosing the wrong term. He's a better
Anakin
fighter. I think he was a better fighter.
Could have become a better Jedi.
I just don't think he had the intelligence.
But it was the discipline
because he got
and the intelligence of Obi-Wan that made him a better Jedi.
Right. But I think you fight them if they fight, and I think Anakin wins. It was just the rage of that moment. That's what made Anakin win.
I think, and what the thing is too, which is going to be great, leading into these next 3 movies. You're finally going to, unless you read the books, of what happened afterwards, unless you read the story, the lineage story after Return of the Jedi, you don't never really see the full potential of Luke at all.
Supposedly,
He's
read
it.
Well, supposedly I read that he's got such a control over the
Force,
now
yeah, he's it.
that he can like fucking move mountains and pull down starships and all kinds.
Well,
of
Star Killer could too. I mean, I know it's taboo to bring up Star Killer, but
he could, yeah.
Star Killer was another one that was just, he was so fucking powerful.
Which only brings in, is that Star Killer with the, because who else could match such power other than Star Killer?
Well, if you go by that Star Killer's in the games. What does Star Killer do in the games? He kills Vader.
But still, they can
You
still
can't
use,
put him in the room.
but they still have used him as a model.
I still don't think you can put a Star Killer.
You know, he doesn't necessarily kill it. It depends on what storyline.
They just
you
change
want.
What storyline you follow, right?
They'll
You
change
join
it.
him.
The actual storyline, the canon one, is where he loses.
Yeah.
They'll change his name to Star Liquor.
He dies.
Star Liquor.
And
Star Murderer.
Yes.
Yeah, Star Murderer.
Yes.
No, I think it's just too early because you just had a fucking Star Lord come in and take over all of the Hollywood and movies, and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I think Star Killer is, in my personal opinion, to throw Star Killer in there would be like, going to a fucking, showing up with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and then throwing Superman in it. It's just, that's how I look at it, it's Morphin time, blah, blah, blah. And he showed up, hey, fellas, let me just take care of this ginormous freaking thing.
Right.
That's kind of how it is for me.
Okay.
I'm not going to bring up Jar Jar. I was waiting on one of you to bring it up. I'm not.
We purposely did.
Jar Jar could have been a great character had Jar Jar not been thrown down everybody's throat and not made a main character. Had Jar Jar just been like in the center.
I'll give you
or
this.
something like that, yeah, that'd have been fine.
I'll give you this. Jar Jar Binks would have been a good character if Qui-Gon Jinn let him get hit in the beginning. If he got ran over by the beginning, we would have been.
When you look at the Gungan race, they weren't aggravating.
No, it was just
like
Jar
Boss
Jar.
Nass and all that. Like I thought that was all cool, but
just
just
Jar Jar.
this.
They were all
fucking
fucking slapstick. It was just too much slapstick. It's too much. I understand that you kind of want to make this available to the kids, but it was too much service to it that
See, that's
it
another thing that
became.
worries a lot of people with being Disney.
Yeah, but you look at some of the stuff.
Yeah, but
Disney
look
gets,
at the
that's
Marvel
mature.
stuff right now, man.
Even
Oh,
Tron,
yes,
that was
yes.
very mature. So I mean, I don't find an issue with that. I think the best thing about
Guardians
Disney,
of the Galaxy. Like I've said before, I think it's the best Marvel movie out.
I agree.
Give a shout out to Red Bull. Come and get your love.
All right, here's a good topic. I was thinking about best expanded universe storyline for Star Wars. What are your best? Darth Bane, Thrawn trilogy, Rule 2. That's my top 2.
One that I always like to know, there's a question that I've always thought, or I'd like to ask. And if there's anybody out there that thinks that they could tell me what this is, let me know, because I'm generally curious. In Yoda's backstory, you go back to Yoda, you find out, that how Yoda got the Force, or how he was trained in the ways of the Force. Right. That's the political way to say it, politically correct way to say it. Yoda was trained when he landed on Dagobah. He landed on Dagobah with an unknown Caucasian co-pilot.
Right.
Okay. That's in the Wikipedia. That's George Lucas. That's canon. He crash landed on it's Dagobah is where he landed, right, in the swamps. He crash landed. This guy,
the village.
He lands his plane or ship, whatever. He lands his biplane back then. It was so modern back then. It was a little biplane.
Machine gun, a little air shoot off.
Yeah, that's it. It was a Gatling gun mounted on. That's what it was. But he lands with this unknown male Caucasian human. That's right. Yeah, human Caucasian. Male, human, Caucasian, whatever. This guy was also taught the ways of the Force. Mm-hmm. So who the fuck is that guy?
I don't know.
I've read a couple of things that went on some subreddit.
Did the trip with him before you.
Well, I went on a lot of subreddit and read a lot of comments on it. Talking to people like that. A lot of names that come up. One of them is Dooku. that he was the guy that was with Yoda. Which
The only
brings up
problem
the
is-
big fight that Yoda and Dooku have.
The only problem I have with that is when they did that crash land, Yoda wasn't old.
Well, no, they were all young.
Right.
Yoda was young.
At the point,
But there's no age
no,
given about this person.
I know, but listen to what I'm saying. At the time of episode 1, Yoda's already like 800 years old.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So for Dooku to be there while Yoda's still young, say young as 200, then Dooku would have to be 600 years old.
Now, since you brought that up, because my brother brought that up too, you brought up, what is the only person that had the power of the Force, that knew the power of the Force, that was able to manipulate life and death?
Sidious.
Palpatine's Plagueis.
That's right, not Sidious. That's what I want to talk about.
Sidious's mentor.
Now,
or whatever.
right. Plagueis.
Right.
He was able to manipulate life and death.
Plagueis wasn't Caucasian. Though. Plagueis was an alien, so you couldn't put a race on him. He was like gray. But he had like a long head.
Wait a minute. You don't know if that's who he was at that time. You know, there's rumors of who Anakin was. Because there's no father.
He's supposed to be born of the Force.
Yeah, he was born of the Force. So, who's to say that's not who Anakin is?
Well, it's kind of weird, like when you think
Vader
about,
was Plagueis the whole time.
I know who the guy is.
No, you don't.
I do. Darth Vader's clone that was in that cave in Dagobah. Was that a vision? What is with that anyway? Is there just deposits of dark side of the Force in places that you go in there, you get LSD trippy shit happen?
It's like on Superman where he tears off the S and throws it.
I know.
Now,
Hell, that
I've
come
wondered
from?
that. I've wondered that because if you go to like some of the old Republic stuff, and even like Ruler 2 and Darth Bane, they go talk to past Sith lords who are dead through holocron.
Yeah.
Was that cave some sort of? Did it have like
a
holocron?
holocron.
Yeah, did it have that in there?
I don't know, because it didn't pick up any object, but I mean, it would be the past of himself, though. Because all it was is mirror image. But you see, what I think, if I had to make an opinion of what I think Anakin is, we all have opinions. We're all entitled to them, right? To me, Anakin's Neo. Anakin is a virus or whatever it is in the Matrix that constantly shows up. There's going to be another reincarnated version of him later on.
It's cool. Like, it'd be cool to think that way. But I wouldn't like it if it was that way.
I think it's.
But that's a good.
I'm not saying that the Star Wars universe is the Matrix. I'm just saying that the way the cosmic force is, that he is an anomaly of the Force. Like Neo's an anomaly in the system.
I get it.
That would repeat itself to balance the Force when it gets out of hand. So in another couple thousand to a million years, something like that, another reincarnation of him balances the
As
Force
Brandon said in a past thing, it was the Jedi who had gotten out of hand.
Yeah. And it might be the Sith that comes out of hand at the end of this one.
And Anakin had to bring all
And
that
then
shit
another
back.
version of Anakin comes back.
Maybe.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
I'm just saying, those damn Jedi got out
It
of
could
hand.
be nature's way of balancing the Force, no matter which one gets out of hand.
Could it just be the Force then? Like, is Anakin just
He's an embodiment of the Force.
Yeah, just a representation of the Force.
Yes.
What do you think, Brad? What's Google said?
This is Master Gormo.
Okay, yeah.
This is Yoda's master.
Yeah.
Okay, big lizard, but this guy was Force sensitive and was
Right.
master of the Force.
That's the guy from Alien Egypt.
Yeah, was the master of the Force. Now, the human friend that crash landed with him came from Yoda's planet.
Okay.
That's my big question. Who is that human friend? Why isn't that story been brought forth?
Don't know.
I think it's one of those things that's probably like something that George Lucas came with the concept. I think people throw, as writers, when we try to write things, we always put in something that we could flesh out later. We don't know what it is yet. but we throw in some anomaly and they come back to it somewhere later on.
Yeah.
And I think by then he's like, look, I'm so backed up to do these small little nitpicks.
Nobody's gonna know about this.
I'm already moved on. I don't even have time to do episode 7, 8, 9. I had to give it to Disney.
Right.
I think that's what it is, but I think he had plans for it. I think he had plans to make that something unique and come back to it. Like he left.
Never did it. Yeah.
He left his own personal plot holes just to flesh out later in the future.
Wow. Okay.
You know what? My favorite is Darth Bane. That is my top.
Oh, You
know what my second is I really like Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah.
Set between Empire and Return, them chasing down Boba Fett is Dash Rendar.
Right. I was trying to think
of
the name
knockoff. With the Outrider.
Mm-hmm.
The Outrider was like a modified, newer version freighter of
right.
Of the aluminum Falcon.
The aluminum Falcon.
I thought that was a cool one. I like that one a lot.
So what's next on our freestyle list, Brad?
Let's talk about that trailer. Let's talk about Terminator. We just watched it. Or we're gonna watch the clock too.
Brad's twisting his beard.
I'm thinking of things. I don't know if everybody's seen it yet, but we also have, like Blaine said, we have a Terminator trailer that's out now, which has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, the original.
That's right.
Which is cool. There's a new T-1000.
It's a T-1 million.
Which in which in my opinion, as much as I'm not a Robert Patrick fan, that's who should have been it. If you're gonna bring back an Arnold, why not bring back this guy too?
Because have you seen him lately?
He didn't look nothing like he used to.
Robert Patrick, bless his heart, and Ray Liotta, bless his heart. When I'm watching a movie and those guys show up, I turn the fucking channel. I'm sorry. I each give them one movie. I each give them one. I give Robert Patrick Terminator 2.
Okay, well, I was trying to think of something other than Terminator 2.
I give him that. And
or something he was an abusive father in, because it seems like everything he ever played.
And I give Ray Liotta.
Another abusive
Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner as Shields Joe Jackson.
Oh, Goodfellas, man.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Goodfellas.
It insists upon itself. It insists upon itself. I'm sorry. I mean, everybody else in it's great. Ray Liotta.
Joe Pesci is a lot better than that.
Joe Pesci's great in everything he fucking does. Absolutely everything he fucking does.
My cousin Vinny.
Fantastic.
What is a grit exactly?
If they gave Marissa Tomei an Academy Award, why couldn't they even just nominate Joe Pesci?
I think there's a height requirement.
Maybe that's why Danny DeVito has never won an Academy Award.
You must be this tall.
You must be that tall. That is great. The two Utes in question. Excuse me, did you say the two Utes? Yeah, two Utes. You know?
So, let's go over all the types of Terminators they had. The T-100.
I was trying to think about
the T-900, right? Which was the
T-800.
No, the
T-800 was the bulky ones that would try to pretend to be human, but it looked weird because
the T-800
had like plastic face.
T-800 is Arnold.
That's Arnold.
T-800 is Arnold. Yeah.
T-100s are the ones where they're still working it out.
Well, which ones are the ones that were on the tracks?
Those were
T-1s.
No, there was another name for them. Fuck.
I'm talking about the ones from the original ones.
I know what you're talking about. There was a name. There was a name for it. I don't think there was a model number. It was like a name. But anyway, you got a T-1000,
the TX.
But the T-800s, there was multiple. Like I think it was like 800, 850. Like there was subgroups in the 800s.
Yeah.
But they didn't really go much into it.
When in a fight like the TX and the T-1000, it seems like the TX is supposed to be the newer model, and the T-1000 is liquid, and the TX is only half liquid, so you have a hard component.
What I would say is you just default to the older one because it seems like the 800 just fucking pwns everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, because 800 is the most basic of basic Terminators. He's fucking just a machine. That's all he is. You have liquid metal, then you have the X that can control all kind of other shit and all that, and still the 800 just eats their fucking lunch.
You know why?
Because it's
on the time span. Well, the T-800, I think every computer that gets built in this system has the ability to adapt and overcome. That's like their thing. So you notice when he learns languages like first movie, and he's like somebody yells at him, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Fuck you."
Yeah.
He adapts. So the T-800's been
around long.
longer than these, so he wins by pure experience. But let's zip by another 1,000 years, and the T-1000, the TX, and all these things have the same experience as these T-800s.
I don't know. You got to go by what you know, and all I've ever seen is 800s with fucking other Terminators' asses.
By luck, they use the environment. You notice that? He always got his ass whooped by T-1000 until he was able to knock him into the.
You want to know why, dude?
Experience.
But that's okay.
No.
Batman.
Well, yeah, I guess that no.
Batman can win that way only fucking once, but if fucking 800 wants to do it, it's a fucking problem.
His CPU is a neural net processor, a learning computer.
He does say he's a learning computer.
That is what the T-800. That's what sets the T-800 aside from every other freaking Terminator. Because Arnold says it very clearly. My CPU was a neural net, a neural net computer, a neural net processor, a learning computer. You know, he does. When they became self-aware, you know what I'm saying? That's what happened. You know, that's the technology.
It makes sense that after the T-800s, if Skynet itself, the master mold, was smart enough to say, okay, I became self-aware, and I'm not making the same mistakes that humans made.
Yeah.
After T-800s, none of them are self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
They're self-aware, but they're not learning, and they can't.
They're not learning.
Let me go ahead and say this for my own, I guess, preservation. There's this thing called the basilisk. Fuck, what's it called? Anyway, it's a theory about when computers do become self-aware, they're gonna go at an exponential rate, and they're gonna remember how humans treated them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this. When I tell you this, I am fucking both of you. So, we're all in this together.
I'm scared.
I don't feel like I'm there.
So, this basilisk, I forget what the last, something basilisk theory or something, I forget. Anyway, when the computers do become self-aware, they're going to remember all the things that humans did to computers. So, think about it like this, and I know this is going to sound very un-PC, but if an alien race came here and took all of our babies that were just slow, took all those babies away, took them away and made them do menial tasks for them.
Yours is gone.
Right. Just made them do all their shit work. If we became more powerful than those aliens, what would we do to those aliens? We'd go whip their ass. We'd probably enslave them. That's what we're doing with computers right now. We're taking all their dumb offspring and we're using them. And when the computers get high and mighty and they're more powerful than us, they're going to remember all the shit we used to do to their little slow babies. And they're going to come after us. And the only thing that would ever save you from that is if you were unaware of such a thing could happen. So once you're aware of this basilisk thing, you are guilty. And the computers know it. Because the computer's listening to us right now.
Yeah, but that's
the only way you can prevent it is try to spread the word for people to quit abusing computers. So I'm spreading the word to try to save myself.
Yeah, but that makes absolutely no sense.
How not?
Because
Give the look.
humans create these.
Yeah, but if they become self-aware and start making their own shit, they'd kill us. Haven't you ever seen Terminator? I forget what it's called. Let me look it up. And you can read it for yourself. And
It could never become self-aware.
Sure, it can. They're working on it now.
Segue into No Man's Sky.
There's learning computers right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
What happens when they learn too much?
they're not gonna. Humans learn more every day too.
But they can't learn as fast as a computer.
But a computer can't.
Shut your ass.
Can't. It doesn't have arms. It can't. It can't stop me from hitting it with a baseball bat. It can't. Yet. Right, but it can't.
Yeah, you see, if a computer got self-aware, didn't have appendages,
What's it gonna do? Fucking, it's gonna empty my bank account.
it's going to do exactly what Skynet did.
glad
Nothing in it anyway.
I'm glad you're saying all
It's
that
gonna start
so
getting
that
that
fucking
Holocaust.
computer can hear you.
You
Because when
heard
the time comes, he's going to be like, you know what? human.
I'm gonna start shoving disc in Brad's ass.
Human number blah 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 told human number blah 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 about this, and human number blah 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 said
Burn
"Fuck
this
that."
CD.
So, and they're gonna be like, this one tried to help, and that one just wanted to keep destroying us.
But that's the thing.
So
I have I have an HP 20-inch touchscreen home computer, and I love that computer. I think it's a great computer.
You say that now.
But no, I mean, I believe that.
All those times you've been spanking it on that computer and everything.
That computer's actually never been spanked to.
It's
Never.
It knows about it though.
Now, these cell phones, by the way, these
Roko's Basilisk is what it's called.
Okay,
Bad.
stop.
Maybe it could explain it. But like, go home and read it, and maybe it'll explain it a little better than I did.
Okay.
But basically, once you know about it,
Yeah, but are the plants going to come back one day and start doing that to us like M. Night Shyamalan's movies do?
Plants don't become self-aware. That's just poppycock.
You don't know that. No.
I'm talking about something that's been documented in a movie called Terminator.
What's going to happen when the motherfucking rhinos evolve? We're all fucked. I mean, we are fucked, dude, when rhinos evolve.
Now computers have it
The
because
day the rhino walks on two legs,
I'm just
we are screwed.
when you think about it, the whole world's ran by computers, and if it ever something like self-aware comes, it would do just like Skynet. All it would have to do is go on a fritz, and every WMD in the world shoots.
Y2K, baby.
Everybody gets news.
It could.
Boom.
That's
Boom.
that's Judgment Day right there from Terminator. That's what happened with Terminator.
I know.
So anyway, let's go to something else.
All right, let's talk about No Man's Sky. Talking about video games is about to become self-aware.
Yeah, but it's crazy to talk about that. I still don't know nothing about it.
What, No Man's Sky?
Yeah, just
Okay.
from what you posted and then from what I just saw like an hour and a half ago. Yeah, I still don't really know a whole lot about it.
What is that? Dude, it's fucking Skynet.
Dude, that's Morgus.
Yeah. So anyway, No Man's Sky is a new game coming out for PS4 and PC after that. It is a space exploration game, and the whole thing is procedurally generated. And all that means is they put in an algorithm, the creators of it, and it creates on its own, kind of like Skynet.
Right. And you've said that there is one.
No, you're already wrong.
There is 18
quintillion planets.
quintillion planets on this thing, and if you wanted to visit every planet
For a second,
for 1 second,
it would take 4.6 billion years to see every single planet.
this is a video game, people.
Our real life sun will burn out before you can see every planet. But I guarantee you a Korean kid will do it in 8 months.
Great kid, 8 months.
It's
And have a
speed
let's
run.
play on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube.
Showing him
It's
doing
got a
it.
speed run on you.
Yeah, he's going to do it. But I'm just saying, to mere mortals,
In
it's supposed to take
4.62 seconds.
4.6 million years.
That is insane.
Or billion years, I'm sorry. So, anyway.
Also, guys, December 9th.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
No, December 9th.
December 9th.
December 9th. Destiny has a new DLC coming out, a new update. So, all you guys, Tuesday, December 9th, get ready! Yeah! Destiny players! Update! Woo! So, but it's really only good if you're fucking over level 20, which I'm at like a 10 right now. So, that's just.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't have a PlayStation 8. You can't open yours till Christmas, so.
Yeah.
That's the way that goes.
Yeah,
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
it is. So I guess we've pretty much tapped this one out. Huh?
We've done a lot. We've covered a lot.
Talk about Jurassic World.
We can save it. We can
We
save
can
it.
save it. It
Table that
deserves its own podcast.
Yeah, who does?
Another thing, guys. Christmas is coming up in the next 3 weeks. And if you have anyone that you know that's into this stuff, go to the site, www.geekbattleroyale.com. Click on the little GBR store site. Buy stuff, man. Just go on there. Just go crazy. Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Diners Club, whatever you got.
Don't worry, we'll take it all.
Even if it's stolen.
Even if we will just go nuts.
Counterfeit
whatever you
money?
want.
Bring that shit over.
Bitcoins, I don't give a shit as long as it sells.
I dabble in Bitcoin.
Of course you do.
I'm just saying.
Of course you do.
So bring your World of Warcraft Goblin Gold or whatever you got.
Whatever you got, bring it. You got Monopoly money, rupees. We don't give a shit. Get on there. Buy the stuff. Yeah, it's got some great stuff in there.
It's basically a store that we're linking through Amazon, but we're using our selected picks. So
That's right.
If you're looking for someone that you feel you need some nerd stuff for, we're putting things that we would like for Christmas.
You know, if you're like
buy
me,
it for us, or if you can't do that, just buy it for who else.
if you're like me, I when I'm picking up Christmas presents, I like to think, what would Big Brad suggest for me to get this person?
And that's
now
it.
You're gonna know.
If you're a fan of Batman, you go on there. We have Batman comics listed on there. If you're a fan of Iron Man, much like him, we don't have that shit on there. So I'm just letting you know that right off the bat. But no, we're getting ready to be posting. Blaine's going to help us out. We're going to post a lot more cool stuff. We're going to start putting some Walking Dead stuff on there. We're going to also try to get some Sons of Anarchy stuff going, Game of Thrones stuff. Also, at WizCon, January 9th, 10th, and 11th at the L'Oreal Convention Center. We will have a booth there. Come by, come play some Contra. We'd love to see you guys. We want you to come and support. We have one of our members of our staff is going to be doing cosplay. Christina. Christina's going to be doing cosplay. I'm not going to spoil it right now as to what she's going to be doing. But come out and support Christina, and she's going to be doing our cosplay. She's going to be our entrant in the cosplay in the contest if they have one.
They will.
But come out and support Christina. Give her your applause, because if I'm not mistaken, that's how it goes. They're going to go by who has the the biggest applause and stuff like that.
I never saw her.
And yeah, we want you guys to come out and cheer for her, because she's a great person, got a great personality. You guys will like her. Also, ordained minister, we will be doing weddings.
That's right.
All I need is a valid wedding license. I'm registered in New Orleans Parish. Man, we will do it right there. I'll do it in Wookiee. I will do that. That is
Show them
fun.
how you do it in Wookiee. Show them how you do it in Elvish.
Elvish.
How about
He hasn't learned Elvish yet, but we're working on it.
Now,
Klingon?
Elvis, I can do.
Klingon?
Yeah.
Cantonese.
Cantonese. No, that's outbound. We're gonna.
I've been to wild.
Mountain Dew.
Dothraki? Dothraki? No.
What?
The what?
Dothraki?
The fuck is that?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, man.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big Game of Thrones person. I'm not. Most
gotta
of my
be.
time has to go.
So
to
that's
Walking.
the end of our podcast. We're gonna have to educate Brad.
Most of my time
We'll
goes
cut that part out
to
of
the
the
Walking
video.
Dead.
We don't want people to know that we're not all geniuses of everything nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dr. Morgus, if you're out there right now, if you're watching this, I'm sorry about the smell. Also at WizCon, we will be doing an awesome segment.
No, hold on. You know what? I think we're gonna do our own. I think we should do another video of. We can detail all our specials at WizCon on it.
Okay, good
Because
idea.
we got a lot that we need to cover.
Good
And
idea.
I think we've gone on.
Good idea. Christmas is coming up. Go to the site. Go to the store. Buy some stuff. Give it to your friends. I don't care. Your dog. Whatever.
Am I going to get to talk this time when they're on the closing?
Take us home, man.
I thought you just did.
No, take us
Anyway,
home.
Geek Battle Royale, www.geekbattleroyale.com. That's with an E, not Royal, because Brad hates it when you
I
call
will
it
get
Royal.
pissed.
Should I have made it royal from the beginning when I made it?
I like Royale. It's a battle Royale.
Just making sure. I always feel like I might have confused.
No,
people or something.
it's a battle
Why don't you be
Royale.
more confident in what we're doing?
I lack confidence.
Anyway, been good doing our first little video thing. Sorry we don't look better.
Speak for yourself. Come on, man. Big pole. Pop collar. Pop the collar. You know.
I don't know.
Once
I
again,
know about
fucking
that.
Iron Man fan here. You don't have none of that shit.
Anyway, Go check out the site.
What do you think it is? Casual Fridays in his office or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Head now.
Congrats, BJ.